Oh boy. What up? What up? What up? Sorry about that. I was letting everybody know that I was on going live on Twitter. So, what's there to even say? What is there to even say at this point, man? Um, 2024. Just just how the way I titled this live stream. 2024 NASCAR has been a mess. I'm not even about to play any games in this live stream. I'm just gonna be looking at the chat the whole time. I mean, what is there to even say, man? Um, the playoffs. This moment is not going to get rid of the NASCAR playoffs. We're stuck. Oh my god, I'm so furious right now. But at the same time, like how could you be surprised at this point? Because this shit has been going on for 20 years. This felt like this was worse than 2013 Richmond. Some people may say that some people may disagree with that, but in my opinion, I feel like this was worse than 2013 Richmond. When the whole Boyer and and that whole shit went down like that, this was worse. You had not just one manufacturer doing race manipulation, you had two manufacturers doing it. Then, they try to decide whether Christopher Bell wall ride or anything like that. And they never made it clear of like when they first like banned that the wall ride, they never made it clear whether like do you like if you ride the whole wall, is that illegal, or if you just do it like midway through the wall corner? Like, I mean, it's not clear. Let me get into the chat real quick before I continue, man. What's going on, y'all? What's up, Caden, Charlie, Trent, Donnie, Rusty's? What's going on, Mr. Pro? What a joke that was. I agree. I didn't even have any plans to go. I didn't even have plans to go live. What up? Need to use these streams as a way to vent my frustrations after whatever clown show that was. I agree. Like I had no plans to go live. Like usually when I'm planning live streams, like I end up like planning them like days in advance so I can prepare. I was laying around. I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. Let me just go ahead and just go live and just vent. For some reason, my phone not letting me send messages through this through my group chat, so I can't even communicate with some of the guys that I'm in a group chat with. So I got to vent somehow, besides on Twitter. Um, this got to be the breaking point to get rid of the playoffs, right? Nope, nope, it's not going to happen. It's been the playoffs has showed its ugly head too many times, and no matter what happens, they don't want to get rid of it. We probably not going to even see any adjustments to the playoffs. So it's nothing's not going to happen, man. I hate it. At least Bell tried to turn it off the wall. He was off the wall. I mean, he was kind of against the wall coming off of turn four. Like I say, he didn't do it all the way through like what Ross Chastain did a couple years ago. But you know, man, I don't know. This was basically 2013 Richmond. This was worse than 2013 Richmond. worse. You had, like I said, for those who's just tuning in, you had two manufacturers doing race manipulation. So you had Ross Chastain. They played the audio from the one and the three, and it sounded real suspicious. And then like I'm looking like obviously they're getting ready to pass Byron. Like Byron was falling off at the end of that race. He had the oldest tires out of anybody in the field, along with Larson and a few others that stayed out on that last run. And then you had like Chastain and them, they ran Byron down, and then all of a sudden they couldn't pass them. So that's obvious. And then they played the radio. They never passed him. And then you go over to the Toyota side, and the 23 just fell off like out of nowhere. Like the 23, Bubba Wallace, like he just fell off like out of nowhere. He almost created a stack up on that last lap, like on the front stretch. And I'm sitting there looking like, what the hell? And then it was just so suspicious. So both manufacturers like they manipulated the race to get in. Wow, man. I mean, it's just I don't see how because in NASCAR's eyes, like they probably view this as like a good thing. Like, oh, this is this is this is like garnering attention, but it's not good attention though. Like it's not how the way y'all being viewed right now as a sport is not good. To like nights like tonight makes people walk away from the sport. It doesn't attract people to the sport. I don't know when they're gonna get it, man. Just so stupid. Oh man. We're probably stuck. We're sorry about that. We're probably stuck with it. We're probably stuck, but still, when you got Brad K tweeting about how the playoffs got to go, it's bad. Oh damn, he just put out a tweet about that. I gotta check that out. I just got off of Twitter like 5 minutes ago. I mean, I've been ranting on enough pretty much all you know, for the last like 30 minutes. I mean, just bring back the 2011 chase format seems like a decent enough compromise. I'm at the point to where I don't even want to compromise. Like, I just want them to get rid of this. You didn't have shit like this happening with a full season points because um, even with the 2011 format, you can still have stuff like this happen. And you know the deal that happened in 2013, that's basically what the format that they was running. They was basically running that same format. Like it doesn't matter what playoff format they put into place, it gets exposed. And they haven't improved anything. They've made it worse, especially since they went to the win and you're in format. I just don't understand, man. I don't think removing the playoffs is gonna fix this. We're still gonna have manufacturing manipulation. You didn't have this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you didn't have this. Like this is like it seemed like it's always something with this format that rears its ugly head. Like it's not even just moments like tonight. It's just so much bullshit. It's so much that it's so much that can happen with what they got in place. Sucks for Bell. It pissed me off that Austin and Chastain didn't even try to pass Byron. Blame Chevrolet. Um, Even before that finished, that race was pretty good, and that yeah, the race was good. It felt like it felt like a pre sort of felt like a pre Gen 7 Martinsville race. The tire that Goodyear brought was better. Still got a ways to go. Still feel like it's things you can do to the car that can make it even better horsepower, but they're not gonna do it because the top brass are morons. Uh, JGR has the whole squad at the hauler. What's up, Spidey? What's up, Chase? What's up, Brock? Brock P Fan 13. Um, Cars Boy 95. What's going on, y'all? Um, at least they gave us a decision in less than half an hour instead of waiting to give us an answer on Wednesday. I mean, I guess, but either way, like nights like tonight is not good for the sport. I just feel like this is like another black eye, and they're not gonna see this as a bad thing, which is so odd. And I think that NBC, and I said this before, I think that the TV networks, they just got too much say in what NASCAR puts into place. Fox, they wanted the Bristol Dirt Race. They got it. NBC, I've heard that they the ones that like the playoffs, so they want to keep it. So I don't think that nothing's like anything's gonna change as long as the TV networks continue to have a say in what NASCAR does. Because yeah, NASCAR they are to blame for a lot of stuff, but I just feel like that they got a gun pointed to their head, and the moment they try to put their foot down, you know, I don't know if NBC is going to threaten to leave or whatever. So I just feel like that these networks they got too much say in what they want to see, and the thing about it is that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So um, the playoffs, I mean, I just don't understand. Like the playoffs is not. I could sit here and admit that I'm wrong if the playoffs was like bringing in ratings, if it moved the sport in the right direction in terms of like viewership. If the viewership was up, like increasing, like if the viewership went from like just like you got the grandstands packed and everything, like sold out for each playoff race. The playoffs are getting big time ratings, especially for the championship finale. Then it wouldn't be much for me to say. But the fact that this shit does not, it doesn't correlate to that. It failed. It's been failing since 2004. Adding to everything, I'm trying to catch up. Adding to everything, Larson eliminated by only 7 points, which he could have very easily have gotten at the 600. Larson not getting any stage points at throughout most of the rounds what killed him. He blew having two flat tires. No, having that pit crew trouble at Vegas, and then which happened in the first stage, and then having that tire issue at what track was that? At Homestead. That's what kind of killed him. If he would have got some stage points, I felt like he probably wouldn't have been in the situation that he was in tonight. But yeah, you could probably chalk it up to yes, the 600, him missing out on the regular season championship. Probably that played a role too. And then a lot of people forget that Larson has finished outside the top 20 like what 10 times this year. So it all kind of combines together at the end of the day. Sucks that Bell, who was probably one of the most consistent drivers all year, is not gonna be racing for a championship. 7 top 10s in 9 of the playoff races, and he's not gonna be competing for a championship. Not to mention he's the legit points leader as well. So NASCAR is in trouble in the long term. If Chevy missed the playoffs, then the Chevy drivers would have said this is equipment envy. Um, we can't go 1 year without one controversy, can we? Nope. Nope, Chase, we can't. Um, the Greensboro fan, Rail fan. Sorry if I screw y'all names up. I'm just I'm so fired up right now. Like I can't even think straight. I'm trying my best though at the moment. Honestly, this should be the final straw that breaks the camel's back in the playoffs, and I already lost interest in the sport. Unfortunately, it's not. They just Matt Crafton won the championship in 2019 without winning any races. What was this? What was this format set out to do when they created it? It was supposed to reward winning races. And then you had 2014, Ryan Newman almost won the championship without winning a race. And then years later, Matt Crafton won the championship without winning a race. So you preach you got to win, 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 but yet you had those moments to where you had these guys either damn near winning the championship or winning the championship without winning. So um let's see. Um NASCAR should go back to the chase or go back to the Winston Cup points format for all three series. So I had I got a video coming out this off season. It's a video that even though I'm probably wasting my time making this video, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I was gonna talk about 10 changes that NASCAR should make during the off season, and one of those is getting rid of the playoffs for at least the lower series. Um, but like because in that video, I was gonna try to like compromise because I could just sit here and say like, oh, I want the full season points format back for the Cup Series, and I want the cars to have 1,000 horsepower everywhere, and I want them to get rid of green white checkers, and I just know that none of that stuff is realistic. So I was gonna compromise, when it comes to that naming that stuff off. I've been a NASCAR fan for 17 years, but this season was just the final straw for me. I have tried and tried and tried to keep watching NASCAR, but I can't do it anymore at all. I don't blame you, man. I do not blame you. Um, you got guys like, when people say that they're not gonna watch anymore, like I don't blame them. I'm not there yet, which may sound surprising to some of you that's been following me, but I'm just not there yet. They'll have to, I don't know, go full on electric or reveal that NASCAR is scripted or something. I don't know. Or they just got to do something even more dramatic to get me to stop watching. But I ain't gonna lie though, man. I'm probably a few years away from being at that point to where I'm like, okay, I think I'm done. Because this shit is ridiculous, man. I mean, it's just, I don't know, like, what else to even say at this point. Like, everything that everybody been saying for the past, what, 20 years? I mean, we just keep repeating ourselves and they don't listen. And the thing about it, Steve Phelps and them, they know that we don't like the playoff format. What did Steve Phelps say at the state of the sport conference last year? One of the first things that he addressed was the playoff format. He was trying to defend it, saying that it's a great system and all that. And then guess what? Later that night, um, guess what we saw? We saw some bullshittery from in the truck race. We know how that went. So they are NASCAR is very aware that we don't like this shit. But like I said, it goes back to the TV networks. I think they got a gun to NASCAR head, and it's like no, we want to keep the playoffs. NBC is the one that likes the playoffs. The format, I must admit, isn't going to fix the manipulation. It's going to still be around like F1 team orders. This is worse though. Like this is still worse than F1. I get that F1 be having team orders, but this is like on a whole nother scale of like just bullshit. I get what you're saying, but it's like you didn't have a whole lot of this shit happen in a full season format. And then people are gonna say like, well, you're gonna have Matt Kenseth again. Like, if you want wins to matter, and I said this plenty of times, go back to a full season points, and then for winning races, just award more points for winning races. It's that simple. That's all they had to do going into the 2004 season. And the thing about it is that they was considering that, and then they changed their minds and they went with this stupid ass shit. NASCAR needs to really crack down hard on the war room mentality between teams and manufacturers. I mean, when you got a system in place like this, I mean, it's gonna make these guys do shit like this. I don't know how they're going to crack down on that. I don't know if they're gonna send somebody over to each war room or whatever to make sure they don't um be on bullshit. I don't know. Um, this whole thing is BS. Bubba had a itchy arm in turn three. Bell rode the wall, and Chevy's did manipulation. Without the playoffs, we have a four-car battle for the title. Fuck NASCAR. Uh, yeah, you say Chevy manipulated the race. Toyota did as well. Like I said, Bubba Wallace, he just I don't know what happened. I mean, obviously, we know what happened. He tried to help a fellow Toyota driver out. And I'm not saying he the one that made the decision. That was team orders. Toyota told him to slow it down. I mean, he felt way off the pace all of a sudden at the end. And then I guess Bell tried to make it seem like that he was like going for it. Like Bubba wasn't even trying at that point. So really Bell didn't have to do that. Bell didn't even have to do that. So it's a mess. That's why I said this shit is worse than 2013 Richmond. I've already gotten into watching races from the mid to late 2000s. The song "God Save the Queen" by Sex Pistols seemed legit for what just happened. The line being, "No, no future, no, no future." I gotta sit down and listen to that. Um, okay, I'm trying to hurry up and what if Racing's in the chat? What up, man? Brian Griffin is in the chat. Jeff, what's up, y'all? NASCAR boy 95. I just got home from work. What happened, man? If you scroll through Twitter, I'm pretty sure you got like a idea, but I'll try to break it down as fast as I can. 'Cause I'm trying to keep up with the chat. So Byron Bell was battling for that last playoff spot. Um, long story short, team orders came into play. Byron was slipping back. He had like the oldest tires in the field. He had the one and the three behind him. They gained on him pretty quickly, and then they stopped. Their progress just stopped all of a sudden. And the reason why is because Chevrolet pretty much telling them not to pass the 24. Then on the other side of the coin, you had on the other side of the situation, you had Toyota doing race manipulation. You had the 23 just fell off the pace all of a sudden and just out of nowhere, and to try to help Christopher Bell out. Like he almost created a stack up. Like if you go back and look at the replay, cause they showed the replay a couple of times. Like you could see that it was almost like a stack up on the front stretch where the start finish line was at, and they Bell he got past Bubba, but he kind of wall rolled three and four. He didn't really wall roll. Like he sent it in, and he kind of rolled the wall coming off of turn four. And the thing that's confusing is that what's considered like is riding the whole wall illegal, or just like doing it halfway through the corner. Like they never really made that clear. Now if it's like what Chastain did a couple years ago, then Bell shouldn't have been penalized for that. But the fact that he only rolled the wall off of turn four, like that shouldn't be a penalty. If that's like it was never no clear. Like they never really made it clear about like how what's considered a wall ride. So that's that's the long story short though. What if um just just a lot of bullshit, man. Just a lot of bullshit. And I'm looking forward to your rant because I know you got one after you gather all the information. I know I just kind of gave you a breakdown of what just happened. I'm pretty sure you're gonna have like a long rant about this, which I will be looking at my feed when you get that uploaded. Just a lot of dumb shit, man. All right, let me try to catch up. Jeff Burton was preaching on the broadcast today. Here's the thing about Jeff Burton. He was preaching, but at the same time, like he he kisses NASCAR's ass when it comes to the playoffs. So, because I heard what he said at the end. He said it's a damn shame that we talking about this. And it's like, yeah, that's true, but the reason we're talking about bullshit like this is because of the playoffs. How do y'all not understand that? The playoffs create these type of situations. So you sitting there praising the playoffs, but yet you say something like that. You say something that like, oh, this is a damn shame. Yeah, it's because it's the playoffs' fault. So yeah, and then he went off on Carson Hocevar today too. So yeah, Jeff Burton, he was speaking some truth today. It's just that normally he's kind of like a NASCAR kiss ass. Him and Steve Letarte. I like Steve and Jeff, but it's like I hate when they get into that mode of like, oh, the playoffs are great. This car is great. Green light checkers are great. Like everything, like NASCAR can do no wrong, and that shit is, you know, irritating. Um, what's wrong with Blaney? Uh, did something happen? What do you mean? What's wrong with Blaney? Jeff said it's a damn shame this happened. Yeah, that's what I was just talking about. NASCAR boy, I'm pissed off, man. Pretty sure that we're like 98% of the fan base is pissed off. Larson was better, deserves it more than Blaney. Yeah, even with Larson being kind of inconsistent this year, like he was still like a top five driver this year. So I don't know, man. Um, True, but Blaney still has been good. He has, he has everything bad that could happen. There's a scene from Clone High where the restaurant is on fire and all of the characters standing there together, smiling. Is NASCAR right now? That needs to become a meme. Cars boy responded to What If Racing. Oh boy, do I have a story for you, man? I'm telling you, once What If gathers all the information, expect the nuclear rant, man. Um, my YouTube feed is about to be filled in a little bit. It's probably already is right now. I know Jet MDK is about to upload. I know what the Iceberg is live right now. I think Bologna Burger is live right now. Eric A stuff probably gonna have a review out soon. Um, it wouldn't surprise me if LD Productions come out with something a little bit later on down the road. Uh, my feed is about to be filled, man. And I'm about to be Brock Beer. He might have something to say. I mean, I know everybody has kind of repeated what we all been kind of saying about the playoffs, but man, it's like this that scene from SpongeBob. Like, how many times do we have to like teach you this lesson? And like in this case, how many times do we got to continue to say that the playoffs don't belong in motorsports? And then you get shit like this tonight, but yet you keep it in place. I just don't understand. At this point, I should just watch for the racing. Everything else is meaningless. Even if you watch for the racing, I mean, what, like 70% of the races are either mediocre or bad because they got rid of a lot of the mile and a half some years ago. But here we are doing this Gen 7 era where the mile and a halves are like the must see races now, but it's not that many on the schedule. So you only get good racing for like what, 30% of the season? 35% of the season, something like that. Meanwhile, the rest of the season consists of super speedways, which are not good in my opinion with this package, and then the road courses and short tracks are suffering because of this car. And then they leave it up to Goodyear, and they refuse to work on the car. They trying to have Goodyear bail them out. That's why I named this stream 2024 NASCAR is a mess, because it is. I know everybody keep looking at the close finishes. and and saying like, man, these are some awesome moments and stuff. And 2024 has been a hell of a year. The lows outweighs the positives when it comes to this season. I'm sorry. Unpopular opinion, I know. Yes, the close finishes have been great, but that's like like that's one of the few positive things about this season. Other than that, I mean, terrible officiating. The car is still not the greatest. I mean, they've been relying on Goodyear this year, and Goodyear has been kind of swinging and missing with the tires until I guess you could say tonight they made it. This is like the first time they actually made like a actual improvement to the tire. You actually seen that was the most passing I've seen at Martinsville and since with this car. The only reason I watched the last 100 laps was because Brad was leading. Brad is my favorite driver. Yeah, I was rooting for Brad, not because I just like Brad, but because I was hoping that, Larson would be able to accumulate enough points. I'm a Larson fan, by the way, if you didn't know. And, you know, have Brad win and have Larson finish second. But I don't know if he was going to be able to get in. I don't know if he was going to have enough points, though. I don't know. Um, it's that bad. Crafton led 19 laps in 2019, by the way. Yeah, this format rewards mediocrity. Matt Crafton was not that great in that season. Calling it, Byron's going to pull a reverse Elliott. He got he got robbed last year, but he'll rob someone this year, maybe. The original chase format I liked, and I saw Brad K tweet, and he's not happy. It wouldn't surprise me if Brad. Let me see if I could check out that tweet real quick. Let me see. I want to look at that because he might end up deleting it. It wouldn't surprise me. Let's see. I gotta look up Brad Keselowski, Twitter. I gotta look at that. I'm glad that Keselowski speaking his mind. Oh, he actually did. Oh shit! Wow, this should be the last straw on the camel's back for the playoffs. Preach, Brad. Oh shit! Let me retweet that. Wow. And who knows, man? Like, I bet it's a bunch of drivers that feel the same way, man. Like, I ain't gonna say all of them, but like a good 75% of the field probably. He got a ton of likes for that too, a ton of retweets. Damn. Okay, let me get back to the chat. My bad, y'all. Man, I'm behind, y'all. I'm behind on the chat. Y'all came out, boy. Damn, I thought y'all was gonna be over at like other people that was streaming. I'm surprised y'all clicked on mines. Uh, yeah, I just lost track. Shit. Um, let's see. The truck playoffs are so stupid. Why is there just 10 cars? The playoffs are stupid in general. I'm not gonna even watch next weekend, but I want to see Truex racing his last race. Thanks NASCAR and Stewart Haas. We know the people who say they aren't watching are gonna plant their butts down and watch the same as they have. And that's the thing. I'm not saying that I'm done. I'm gonna watch next week, but I'm not gonna be thrilled watching. Like I'm watching for the race. I'm not watching for the championship. So, like I said, I'm not at that point yet to where I'm like I'm done with. Like when I say I'm gonna be done with NASCAR one day, if it ever gets to that point, I'm actually gonna be done. I'm not gonna be one of those people that say I'm done and then sit my ass right down in front of my TV the next week and end up watching. Because it is people that does that. So, this is the pure definition of slop. I'm close. One more year that's been full of bullshit, and I'm out. I'm watching a real sport like professional cheese rolling. At this point, I find my bad. I can't even talk tonight. At this point, I find uh, them in our races better than this. I'm not even a Tyler Reddick fan, but he holds the best statistic over the other three. It's honestly sad. To I want him to win over the others, not because he's my favorite board, but more deserving over the rest. Um, I might as well just watch old races in HD from the 2000s. I've been doing that anyway, even while the season is. I used to do that when the all season would get here and watch as like many old races as I can. But now I'm at the point where I'm watching like old races. Like I'm in the middle of the 2000. No, I just started the 2003 season and watching that. Mario Kart's points is better than the current NASCAR format. Yes, it is, and that's pretty sad. I feel nothing with Byron making it in, even being a Byron fan. This is fucked. Mario Kart is better than NASCAR's points format. Apparently, Bubba had the same issue that Reddick had. I don't know, man. It was just real suspicious. Real suspicious. All like you had that issue. I don't believe that. This weekend also showed just how unlikable, spoiled, and how little respect across all three series that especially the young drivers have for the sport and having little to no racing ethics, uh, ethics or IQ. Uh, says Master Champ '08. I hope I'm saying y'all names right. I cannot speak right now for some reason. Um, yeah, from the Connor Jones deal last week. I mean, we've been seeing it for a while, but yeah, Carson Hocevar, even though he's talented, got so much speed. I mean, he drives like a clown. I really want him to clean it up because I feel like he could be a future champion one day, especially if he gets some good equipment. I think if Bell doesn't ride the wall, he isn't penalized. He didn't need to ride the wall, still BS though. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand if the 23 was giving him the spot, what was the point of just sending it in there like that when the 23 was giving you the spot? I just don't understand that because it's obvious the 23 was like trying to help the 20 out. So I just don't understand that. And then once he bounced off the wall, he should have just turned down instead of trying to just stay in the gas. Maybe he would have been in over Byron. NASCAR in 2013 to 2018 seasons got it right with the horsepower. By 2019 to 2021, the 550 horsepower, and then we went to crap, especially on the short tracks and road courses. Uh, what up, Jeremy? You didn't have these type of you didn't have these. I think you meant to say you didn't have this type of stuff happening in the inaugural on Chase in 2004. I just think that playoffs, no matter what format you're gonna have in place, you're gonna see bullshit no matter what. I just think no matter what format you have in place, man. And I'm not sitting here saying that a full season points format is gonna be the perfect system, but it's better than having, you know, the playoffs. I mean, you got the playoffs don't I'm not gonna go into, why it doesn't work for like all the reasons why it doesn't work, but one of the reasons why it doesn't work in racing is because you got other people on the track that could affect the outcome. So you got like the people that's locked into the playoffs, playoff racing, and then you got people that's not involved. When compare that to stick and ball sports, where it's just two teams out on the field playing. Nobody can't affect the outcome when it comes to like playoffs and other sports. When it comes to NASCAR and now unfortunately VA supercar racing because they just implemented a playoff format, um that's what you like that's what can happen in racing with a playoff format in place. That's why I always say that playoffs don't belong in racing. That's one of the reasons at least. I heard someone say that Jeff Gordon laughed at Brian Francis' face after announcing the chase. He did. They went on a boat ride or something like that, or a cruise, and Brian Francis was explaining the idea to Jeff Gordon about it, and then he He laughed in this dude's face, which I would have laughed in his face too. Like, dude, that sounds stupid as hell. Just award more points to the winners, and let's go on about our business. Like, what the hell you trying to do to the sport? That's true. That's why I said Bubba itchy arm thing. What's up, Parker? Sunshine, cool water. What's going on? Addicted to speed. What's going on? Man, I'm behind. Like I said, I'm scrolling down. Austin Nance. I can't even say your name. Uh, what's up? Tar Heel, Enigma. What's up? Fast Lane. Man, uh, let's continue to get through this. I'm trying not to go on long tangents because y'all, the chat is flooding up right now. um, these people who complain about race manipulation should be grateful Porsche ain't in this sport. Is all I'm gonna say. um, a full season points represents a body of work over an entire season. Awarding more points for wins gives you a bigger advantage to get to the cup quicker. They don't care. Um, I'm gonna watch the new Simpsons Treehouse of Horror tomorrow morning. I don't want it to be associated by watching it on the same day as this garbage. Mario Kart points is better than NASCAR format. That is true. Uh, Super chat for 4.99. Damn, I cannot pronounce your name. Carlito. I can't even say it, man. I'm sorry if I screwed the name up. Uh, Thanks so much. It's controversial and divisive. I can't even talk tonight. It's controversial and divisive. The call is at least NASCAR did make us wait a couple of days to give us an answer. Once again, that's true, but it's still like it's like what we like. It's bad right now. That's all I'm gonna say. Like it's not good right now at the moment. Like this is the type of shit that's happened tonight is what make people walk away from the sport. NASCAR is adamant that they will never have a season finale more competitive and entertaining as the 1992 Hooters 500. I find it funny that the state of the NASCAR press conference happened exactly 1 year ago today. Yeah, when Steve Phelps said that bullshit. It's just sad the sport I love so much has become like this. It really makes me sad. It makes all of us sad. Newman fan forever 39 is in here. What's up? Here's my question: what was wrong with the original Chase? It was fine than what we have now. I agree. I ask that question all the time. Chrome Diesel in here. DG DG KB fan is in here. I'm fucking up tonight. I'm so bad with names, man. Um, let's see. Yeah, but I agree with you though, Newman. Like, no Newman fan. Like, I don't know. It was nothing wrong really with the chase format. I mean, it wasn't the most legit format in place, but at least it was like, um, I always say that format was a good balance of legitimacy and entertainment. With this format, it's just all about entertainment. So, yeah, the sport is its own worst enemy, uh, barring F1 at times. I feel like all motorsports are going in the wrong direction right now, except for IMSA. I feel like F1, they've they blew up in America, but they've been making stupid decisions too. Um, NASCAR's we know what's going on in NASCAR, and then IndyCar they refuse to add ovals. They refuse to um what else? Like they don't know how to promote their fucking sport. It's just a lot of these motorsports are going in the wrong direction right now, and except for IMSA. So it sucks too because I'm a motorsports fan. I'm not just a NASCAR fan. I love all motorsports. So to see these motorsports going the wrong direction it is sad. I remember a case where Larson Wall rolled a turn forward wall at Richmond last year, and he didn't get penalized. What if racing? What the fuck? Yeah, pretty much what we was all saying tonight after we saw that shit. So yeah, man, you gonna have to. I know I just explained it, but you gonna have to like go on Twitter and just try to. I hope I explained that pretty well. By the way, it was just fuckery going on during that last 10 laps. Like I said, from the one and the three purposely not passing the 24, even though they were both faster, and the 23 just falling off a cliff all of a sudden and trying to get a point for Bell. So what can you even say? What a damn joke. Uh, Sorry, but I got lost for a sec. What a damn joke. Hate it all around from both Chevy and Toyota. What up, Chrome Diesel? I hate what happened today. We all do. A wall ride is considered where you use the wall to make a corner. Bell was on the gas, hands turned to the wall to ride it, and you can see he lets off the gas right before the start finish line. I guess. I guess. Jeff Burton always seems to rub me the wrong way, even when he was racing. The whole impatience with the DLC investigation, for example. What's up, Ali? What's up, Austin? Steve usually glazes NASCAR a bit more than Jeff. I feel like Jeff does it more than Steve. They're both bad with it at times. That end left a bitter taste in my mouth. Yep. Jeff Burton gives off. Uh, I can't even talk tonight, man. Jeff Burton gives off philosopher. I can't even say it. Philosopher with ADHD vibes. Um, let's see. The iceberg, Black Lives Matter, Eric Eastup, and everyone else will be talking about this. NASCAR is losing more of his fans because of BS and politics like this. I was responding to a Brian Griffin fan right there. I got you. Um, so much for wins, meaning everything. Larson has twice as many wins and has no shot at the title. BS. It should be a balance of wins. Like I said, I feel like they could have balanced it out going into 2004. You could have awarded more points for winning races, but consistency has to matter as well. So wins shouldn't be everything. I mean, if you DNF like 10 times in a year, even if you got like 8 wins, you shouldn't be in championship contention unless everybody else is doing the same thing. Unless everybody else is inconsistent, just like that person that got 10 DNFs, then yeah, maybe you could find yourself in a situation where you are competing for the championship. But like I look at Newman in 2003, he had a lot of DNFs, but he had 8 wins. Um, just because you got 8 wins doesn't mean that you should be competing for a title. Now, had they had a system in place to where points, winning races meant more, he, I don't think he even would have been in contention then. Like because he had that's how many DNFs he had that year. He probably would have been a little bit up further in the points, but he probably wouldn't be mathematically in it to win the championship. So, and it just depends on how many points they're talking about when it comes to like award more points to the winner. I don't want it to be egregious and have like triple triple amount of points, over second place just because they won. I mean, that would be too much because then wins are going to matter way too much. You want that consistency to matter as well. So, um, you can tell from my YouTube feed how much I given up on getting up in real life NASCAR. Kamikaze Games from the Rage. I don't even think he. I can't even talk. I don't even think he's even going to rage. He probably just let out like a laugh and then he went on about his day. I mean, he don't pay attention to this shit, and I don't blame him. I would love to see Kamikaze Games video. He probably will make one though. He probably would. He does still make NASCAR videos every now and then, so he probably would. I kind of hope he does. Like I said, my I'm gonna be watching a whole bunch of people ranting. It's gonna be entertaining. I mean, I hate that it has to be like this, but everybody's about to speak the truth. I'll be shocked if somebody came out of nowhere and be like, you know what? What happened tonight wasn't that bad. This is great for NASCAR. I will click off the video so fast if I see a video, if I even see a take like that on Twitter. So now all the now all now all the racing is from NR 2003. Uh, Everyone will have a piece to say after Martinsville. I didn't watch the race. 2024 has been a bad year for NASCAR. Yeah, and the thing about it, that's an unpopular opinion, I bet, because people are going to look at the close finishes and be like, "Oh, how can you call this a bad year when you have all these close finishes?" Two positive things that I can name that happened this year when it comes to NASCAR. The close finishes and landing that TV deal. I felt like overall, even though it's kind of a few negatives with it, overall it was a positive. And I didn't even think about the lawsuit. You got that going on too. So you got the lawsuit, terrible officiating, the playoffs rearing its ugly head again. The racing product is not going in the right direction. You only getting good racing at mile and a half for the most part. So yeah, it's not. This is not a good year. Um, Mario Kart. Mario Kart points format is better than playoffs by a margin. Uh, they're talking about doing the playoffs in Australia Supercars too. Yeah, I read about that and I was really disappointed. NASCAR biggest problem is the car horsepower and getting rid of grandstands at some tracks. They getting rid of grandstands at these tracks because nobody's not showing up. I mean, they've been doing that since about the early 2010s, honestly. I should just watch old NASCAR races to be honest. I do that, especially like after nights like tonight. I do pull up like an old NASCAR race, from like 2013 on back and just chill and just even further back than that and just be like, man, look how simple the sport used to be. It calms you down, like it really does. The racing is was pretty good. Usually races from the 2000s or the 90s, or even some races in the 80s. So, uh, and bring back Chicagoland. I hope they do. What do you mean super speedways are not good? They're not. I mean, you can't just because you're seeing three wide racing doesn't mean that it's good. The only reason that you seeing three wide is because the guys on the bottom are saving fuel. So that's how that third lane is able to form. Notice that when everybody is going full throttle and going for it, that third lane cannot form up because these cars got too much drag. They need to reduce the drag, and so that way you can make moves. I mean, go watch an Xfinity race, and then you watch the Xfinity race the day before, and then you watch the Cup race, and you can see like such a big difference. In the Xfinity series, they can make moves at plate races. If you got a good car, not to mention if you're really good at super speedways, you can make something happen. But with the Cup Series, you can't really do anything with at super speedways now. You're just stuck. So that's everybody saves fuel, so that way they can take as less fuel as possible during the pit stop, and then that way they can leapfrog the competition because you can't pass. That's why they do that. They always do that. It's gaslighting of the highest order. Tim Johnson and her. At least Chase Elliott has the Winston Cup points lead. Haha. Chase Elliott fan here, by the way. Oh snap! I got to look at that too. Like because Bell did have a bad day, so I think Chase Elliott does take the points lead. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God, man. A change for like a points lead change before the last race of the season. Um, it's kind of the fans' fault for not liking the intermediates pre-Gen 7 races, and I'm not one of them. I just only crap on their cars for making the racing product bad. That started in 2018. I feel like the racing in 2018 wasn't that bad as everybody else was making it out to be. I feel like the season did start off a kind of slow, but it picked up dramatically as the season went on. Especially like the last like 10 to 12 races were like really good. But everybody, I just remember everybody was bitching every week, and they was mainly doing that because the three dominant guys that were dominating the season were at the time the most hated drivers in the sport. I wouldn't say Truex was hated, but people were tired of Truex winning. People didn't like Kevin Harvick at the time. People didn't like Kyle Busch. So I just feel like that played a big role. And then be careful what you wish for, but that 2018 All Star race kind of started the low horsepower deal. Everybody was preaching that race. Not everybody, but people wanted to see that every week. And you got it for like what, 3 straight years before they realized that that was not the way to go. Let's see. Indy, Richmond, Nashville, and this have outweighed those. But yeah, this has been a wild year for sure. I know that Bill France Senior and Bill France Junior will be rolling in their graves right now. Brad gets too much hate, and I think it's mainly the edgy fans I talked about earlier, gaslighting normal fans into hating him. Is cringe. Keselowski deserved the hate a little bit back in the day because he was kind of like a bull in the China shop. More so talking about 2014. Uh, I always like Brad though. Like he speak his mind. He don't speak his mind as much as he used to, but he's. I mean, we just saw it on Twitter. He's speaking his mind. But in terms of I was about to say but yeah, I always like Brad though. Oh man, damn, damn. My chat just like for some reason it just scrolled all the way down to the bottom. That's how behind I am right now. I'm trying to hurry up, man. Damn. Brian France destroyed NASCAR. Yeah, it kind of started with him. Uh, somebody, Tim Johnson replying to Brian Griffin fan. Um, Josh, what up? Josh Lampman. Regardless, this was a great year for Chase, my driver, after his season last year. Definitely, he had like a Matt Kenseth 2003 type season. Um, not many wins, but he was very consistent. So, um, it seemed like they've gotten hype over the last couple of weeks. They've been showing some winning speed. I feel like if his pit crew didn't screw him up earlier, um he would have been fine. Let's see. Basically, this sport hinges too much on gaslighting. The NASCAR hitman would come to Brad's motorhome. Brad for NASCAR president. W Brad, we love Brad. Preach Brad, preach. Hell yeah. Mark Martin and Matt DiBenedetto even spoke their own minds. Yeah, I saw what Mark Martin. He didn't necessarily call out the playoffs. I think he was just. Then again, he probably was. I don't know. What if racing? He said that you retweeted that. Okay, cool. Yeah, like spread the word, man. Even though it's probably not gonna change shit, just make our voices be heard, and maybe something can finally change. The question is though, would they just put a fucking band-aid on what they just put band-aids on, or they actually gonna fix the fucking problem. Wonder what Kyle Busch is saying right now. Somebody said blame JJ. I retweeted it. I don't use Twitter anymore. Too toxic of a place. Otherwise, I would have retweeted it too. I don't blame you, especially since Twitter is going downhill in general. They want you to pay. If you want a fucking edit button, um, you gotta pay for that shit. Ever since Elon Musk took over Twitter, it's been a shit show. So I don't appreciate that. Motherfuckers, out there trying to get verified on Twitter, which some of them I guess I understand, but I'm not about to do that. You know, if I can't put a whole paragraph down, like a longer paragraph, or I can't edit my fucking tweets, then whatever. All this other shit that wants you to pay to edit. Like we've been asking for an edit buddy for years, and they don't want to do it. We can't have it for free. Like what type of shit is that, man? Um, you rock. Don't hold back. Thanks, man. I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people that's not gonna be holding back tonight, like Kamikaze Games, for instance. Um, I'll watch and hope and Chase Elliott wins. Guy going to cheese rolling is real as fuck. Uh, Pop Pie 88, what's going on? What's happening? I watched the 2007 Martinsville race today. If Logano wins, we know this is truly rigged. um, I think this season might eclipse 2015 as the worst. 2015, yeah, that's pretty high up there too because that was that first year when they took horsepower away. They upped the drag some more, or not the drag. They went kind of like I think it was a few races that year where they kind of tried that. They were trying to create pack racing at Indianapolis, and it was some other race. Um, and then Kyle Busch, he missed a quarter of the season. He was eligible for to compete, even though he beat the top 30 rule, and he went on to win the championship after missing a quarter of the season. So yeah, that's pretty bad. I don't hate him either. If he wins anyway, then it just further proves that NASCAR's point system is a joke. Win-win. The edgy fans will side with Logano for obvious reasons. All they had to do was add more points for a win, and then it would have been much better. That's true. Um, let's see. Why does my chat keep doing that, man? Just keep jumping me to like the latest comment. I'm trying to speed through this because I know I'm behind. Let's see. Supercars were already on life support when I hope I'm saying this right. Hyundai died. Now they're begging to die by implementing playoffs. Owen Gibbs can't protest, by the way. Need for Speed Underground 2 is more legitimate racing than NASCAR. I just hope IndyCar, F1, Super GT, IMSA, WEC, and BTCC don't adapt a playoff format. Well, VA Supercars have already done it, so um, they followed through. And I think it was even talks about F1 said they want to do it one day as well, but I hope not. My NASCAR Credible Series videos are much better than 2024 NASCAR altogether. Um, I guarantee when a Cup driver wins the championship with 0 wins, NASCAR will overhaul the playoffs. It's coming. Matt Crafton did it in the Truck Series, and they didn't do shit. I don't know if it's gonna have to take. I don't know if it has to happen in Cup, but I don't know. F1 probably won't. I seen that the fans hate the NASCAR playoffs. I highly. Oh, I just read that. Wait, did I? Oh no, I didn't. I highly doubt F1 is going to adapt playoffs now, considering that they're riding off of that Hamilton Verstappen points battle in 2021 alone. The iceberg has been live for an hour. I think he's. I'll be shocked if he's still live streaming. It's so much going on tonight that it wouldn't surprise me if people be live stream for like 2 hours or so. I know I didn't expect to be on this long, but man, y'all, I had so much to say, then y'all just kind of came out in full force. I wasn't expecting a whole lot of y'all to come in here tonight. NASCAR put themselves in a situation, even decision will have people screaming HMS favoritism or Toyota favoritism, and it's NASCAR's own damn fault. And that's the thing, like I don't know, like they could have done some type of deal where I thought they was gonna do a deal to where like since both manufacturers were like manipulating the race, they was gonna take out the 24 and the 20, and they was gonna um move the five and who's below the five and the 11 in. I feel like that probably would have been even worse though. I don't know, but it would have been kind of fair because they both were manipulating the race. I don't know what decision would have been a good decision. I just know that the playoffs is the reason why we're having this conversation right now. I don't want to hear it. People can sit there. How can you defend the playoffs after tonight, by the way? How can you defend it? Dave Moody, Mamba Smith, the rest of these people that want to sit here and try to make excuses for the playoffs, what can you say? It looked like a bleak possibility with the Verstappen domination after 2021, but it seems Ferrari and McLaren have caught up to Red Bull. It has been closer in F1 lately because Red Bull they were leagues above everybody else for a while for the past couple of years. So yeah, F1 has gotten a little bit more interesting lately. Matt Kenseth won the 2003 championship fair and square, but if he had a 500 point lead, he likely would have locked up the title at Atlanta and Phoenix that year. People forget that like Kenseth won that championship by 93 by only 93 points. Yeah, he was consistent throughout the season. It was 1 point throughout the season where he had like a 300 point lead or something like that. But that's because sorry about that. That's because everybody else in the field was inconsistent, and Matt Kenseth was consistent. And then Matt Kenseth, he started kind of faltering at the end. Like I think he had some type of issue at Rockingham. And then the next week at Homestead, I think he blew up. But he already had the title clinched at that point. So, people forget about that. People act like that he won that championship by like 300 points. Like he only won that championship by 93 points. Uh, Old Chase, JJ dominated and still had it locked up before the finale, so there was still complaints. I don't think Jimmy Johnson. I don't think it was ever a deal where somebody locked up the title during like that 2004 to 2013 time period. I think the biggest gap going into the final race was 2009 when it was Jimmy versus Mark Martin. I think Jimmy had like what 100 some points on him or something like that. But I don't think anybody has ever had it locked up going into the final race during that time period, underneath that format. Damn, I wish I had some water next to me. Um, I've already gotten into watching races from the mid to late 2000s because they are better than what we currently have. Um, Definitely, yep. A lot of less bullshit going on. PC gone rogue. What's up? High EP. Uh, Saying what's up? What's up, man? What is up? This feel like a funeral, and it's completely fair to feel that way. Yeah, and that's why once again, what if like I don't blame you for rolling up out of here after the season. Like people can get mad at you and Kamikaze Games and whoever else announces their departure from NASCAR, but I don't blame y'all. I'm not there yet personally, but uh it's just some people have had enough. And I don't blame y'all. Like it's just maybe I like I said, maybe I'll be there in a couple of years, but I'm not there yet. But it's if they keep it up, man, I might be on that same wavelength one day. IndyCar, unpopular opinion, I don't like ovals as much as others. Think it doesn't take as much talent as a road course. Ovals are more entertaining in IndyCar, which is why a lot more people want them. I enjoy street courses and road courses in IndyCar, but I just wish they had more of a variety because it's not that many ovals in IndyCar right now. I wish they can go to Homestead. I wish they can go back to Las Vegas, which I know is unpopular because of Dan Wellness' death, but you had deaths at Indianapolis Motor Speedway and they didn't stop racing there. So, um, not to mention people forget that they went into that race with like a different aero package. Like they were kind of like pack racing. I feel like if with the car that they got now, I feel like that the field would spread out pretty quickly. So, um, I know that's probably an unpopular opinion, but that's just my thoughts. I've been having more fun watching races from 2000 and before. If your series can't get road courses right, I ain't interested in watching. Larson always does get favored, like today, giving him the lead. No, I knew somebody was going to say that. They didn't just give Larson the lead. Um, they went green when really they shouldn't have went green. I mean, the fact that Steve Letarte saw the tire rolling first before NASCAR tells you all you need to know about the people in the tower. But they went green, but they threw the caution quickly. William Byron, didn't get going. He fired off, but he spun his tires. Larson took the lead, and then they threw the caution out. And then Larson was scored as the leader. Um, how did Bill Weber always say it? There's 19 scoring loops around the track, or whatever. I don't know how many scoring loops is around the Martinsville Speedway, but they went off of the last scoring loop, and Larson was the leader going off of that last scoring loop. They didn't just give him the lead. So I knew people was gonna start saying that shit when that happened. With that being said, that caution, like they shouldn't have went back to green to begin with, because we all saw the tire rolling. I mean, Steve Letarte called it out, and then like he called it out like way before they fired off, and then they threw the green out anyway. I'm just like, what the hell? Um, let's see. Man, I got so much to catch up on Twitter when I get through with this. I appreciate y'all so much on coming in here. By the way, man, it's been a it's been a crazy last hour or so. Andrew with the $10 super chat. 2024 and prior for the Cup Series have been pretty awful due to the on track product. The playoffs need to go. Preach, preach. Um, let's see. Does one team know the deal? Yep, that's what it was saying. What's up, Gloctopus, by the way? Yep, that was some of the radio transmission. IndyCar took overs off because of Dan Weldon's death. I just gave my opinion on that. Motorsports today have turned into elitist, good old boys club. It's no wonder why they're heading in the wrong direction. It's just, what's that guy name that runs IndyCar? Mark Miles, he's out of touch. Steve Phelps and Jim France and them, they're out of touch. The the people in F1 are just so uptight. I feel like they don't really care about the fans. They just kind of care about um, just getting as much money as possible, which is why they got three races in America now. So I don't know. What's funny is that I was watching the Lions game and then turned to the race and had no clue what was going on. It says Tim Johnson. Um, can I also say the commentary sucks? Like you said many times before, I do 100 times better commentary on my YouTube channel with NR 2003 than real life NASCAR commentators. I feel like I hope you not talk about Lee Diffie because I feel like he's done a solid job. I feel like he's done a really good job. If you talk about just Steve Letarte and Jeff Burton, I mean even them, I mean like I said, they do a good job. It's just that they can be off at times with their analytics, but of their analysis, I just don't like the constant kissing up to NASCAR all the time. I don't know about Black Lives Matter though. He doesn't upload much anymore, and he isn't on NWP. Yeah. Jeff Gordon and William Byron said in the interview as they waited that there's no good outcome that comes from this. Yep. Matt Kenseth had a lot of DNFs in 2002 as well. Yep, which is why he wasn't in the championship fight, despite him having 5 wins. Um, I low key hope that Corey LaJoy calls out the format. You really think he go do that? Because he got what's that? He got that. He got his podcast is on NASCAR's channel. I doubt it. What does LaJoy have to do with this? That is kind of random though. Like Corey LaJoy, like he's usually not the most outspoken guy like that. I mean, yeah, he has a podcast, but I don't think he's going to speak bad on NASCAR. I highly doubt it. If he was, he would gain a lot of fans. So, give me one sec. All right, let's see. Um, Black Lives Matter ain't uploading anymore because he ain't allowed to copy Wikipedia anymore. I'm not touching that. For more drivers to call out NASCAR, I guess you said. I guess you meant need more drivers to call out NASCAR. I'd be watching Iceberg. I would make a rant video about it. Uh, Send me a link to your YouTube channel if you when you get a chance so I can watch it. On NASCAR app has Willie B in the final four. This is definitely the take of an edgy fan. That video would be great rage bait video. Ignore the haters, just call the Martinsville. Ignore the haters, just call the Martinsville greatest race in the century, 10 out of 10. Uh, Andrew, the playoffs are terrible and need to go. I agree. Once again, thank you for that super chat, by the way. Um, let's see. Um, I'll just watch Phoenix for Martinsville. I mean, for Martin Truex Jr., Jimmy Johnson, and Stewart-Haas Racing. Outside of that, that race means nothing to me. I watched the 1999 Fall Martinsville race, the one where Tony Stewart and Kenny Irwin flipped their shit at each other. I remember that. What's up, Alex? In the Winston Cup points, Elliott is the new points leader by 13 over Bell. Also, Reddick is behind by almost 80 points and doesn't have the title locked up, even with one race left. We're missing out. That's all I'm gonna say about that. We're missing out. And that was more fun. Super speedways are mid now. That's what I've been saying for the past couple of years. But people fall for the three wide and think that, oh my God, this is great. My idea, my definition of good super speedway racing is what we had in the 2000s, like around the mid to late 2000s. Yeah, you have like a good, pack racing at first, but once the tires started going away, you started getting to like, it started to spread the field out, and you had guys all over the track spread out a little bit, and handling came into play. It was a beautiful thing. Um, like I feel like people sleep on the 2004 Daytona 500. I feel like people sleep on the 2008 Daytona 500. And yeah, people look back on the finish and be like, man, like that was an exciting finish between Tony Stewart, Kurt Busch, and all them, and Ryan Newman. But people forget about that middle portion of that race though when not Newman, Kyle Busch, Hamlin, and Gordon was like swapping the lead back and forth amongst each other, and they had like a 2 or 3 second gap over fourth, and then you saw passing throughout the field as well. People forget about that, so I feel like those are like very underrated Daytona 500s. Um, Eldon Sawyer is going to the media center. I don't want to listen to that motherfucker, man. I don't want to hear nothing from Eldon Sawyer. Just a bunch of bullshit that's gonna come out his mouth. That's all that's gonna happen. Early NASCAR is so much better before playoffs. I rewatched 2012 Homestead a couple of weeks ago. Uh, what we could have had, 2018 wasn't bad. I agree. It's what I've been saying. 5 to 6 good races can save 10 to 20 mid to god awful races. Yeah, yep. That's what I'm saying. Like mile and a half, and then this everything else. And today's race was good, but I feel like eliminating just talking about the pure racing. Yeah, today's race was good, but obviously the playoff drama has kind of lowered that score down big time. So now when people look back at this race, like they're not gonna think of the racing product. They're gonna how good the racing was. They're gonna look at the playoff drama. So um, people didn't like Jimmy Johnson. The latter half of 2018 was legit good, definitely. Uh, well, Jimmy Johnson didn't do himself any favors by being a black hole of charisma. Charisma. Yeah, people always say that Jimmy was vanilla and all that. I just I just wanted somebody to beat him for the championship after like when that third year in a row came and he won that championship. I was like, all right, man, like who's gonna step up and beat this dude, man? And this dude proceeded to win 2 more titles after that. I'm just looking like, all right. Like after that fifth title, I was pissed, and then I was already like, I was already mad because around that time, Junior, who who's my other favorite driver, um, alongside with Larson, like he wasn't doing good. So at that time, that was around that 2009 2010 period. So the Xfinity Series needs to bring back bump drafting at Daytona and Talladega and Atlanta. They probably not gonna do it because I don't know. I don't mind him winning. Just wanted a more enthusiastic driver. Yeah, I do wish that it's not even just Jimmy that had that problem. Even though Jimmy had some wins that he was kind of like really pumped up over. But that is my problem with a lot of these drivers nowadays. They don't really celebrate like how they should. They just kind of be like, "Oh yeah, we won. Want to thank my sponsors, blah blah blah." Just so nonchalant. Like go crazy, man. You just won a damn cup race. I feel like when I watch a Jimmy Johnson interview, especially in the early years, I'm watching a man who was being forced to race at gunpoint. That's probably why everyone loves Dale Jr. I feel like being Dale Sr.'s son is not uh, a sufficient answer because the only time I see people like Kyle Petty get love is when they're spewing off meme-worthy commentary. I just realized that Byron could still pull off 24 and 24. Yeah. Jason Jarrett, Justin Labonte, Stedman Marlin, etc. Names I haven't heard since the mid 2000s. Wasn't one of them on the NASCAR game? I think Justin Labonte was. I think I don't know. Um, like the old EA games. Oh my God, Motorsport is going in the shitter. Lucas Oil late model has playoffs as well. They do. What the fuck? Larson didn't even make the Final Four. This is like 2020 on a lesser scale mixed with Spingate. That's what I'm saying, man. It's bad tonight. I mean, it's so bad right now. It's just a dumpster fire. It's a dumpster fire. I can't look at this season and be like, it's been wild, but just because it was wild doesn't mean that it was good. So I got a video coming out this off season, just not just talk about the changes I want to see, but just expressing why I feel like this season wasn't that good. So I feel like if you're in the media, you probably enjoyed this season. If you work for NASCAR media, obviously you're going to be like, "Oh man, this was great." But outside of those people, I mean, you can't really. I just know for me, I can't say it was a good. Personally, I don't think it was a good season. By the way, that supercars manufacturer that died is pronounced uh hold. I can't even say it, man. Even when you try to sound it out for me, Hone, I don't even know. Um, they were algae manufacturer that was a GM brand. The Chevy SS that ran at NASCAR from 2013 was just Hyundai or I don't know, man. I can't even pronounce it. I can't pronounce it for some reason. I don't know what's wrong with me tonight. No hate, just trying to help. I get it. I get it. I'll go on Google after this and try to look it up. Have them pronounce it for me. I don't know. I can't speak tonight. Uh, let's see. People who defend the playoffs, especially after tonight, are simply delusional. Then Bill Elliott had this issue on the last lap. What interests you outside of racing? Um, oh yeah, what up? Thick Cheese is in here. Like Dislike is in here. I think I finally caught up. I sure did. Wow, finally. Um, what interests you outside of racing? Uh, into baseball and uh, if you talk about sports, I'm just like that's my other love is baseball. Um, I have to do like a this is not the point of the live stream, but I appreciate the question. But yeah, just baseball. I have a live stream one day talk about my interests. I'm trying to keep it focused on NASCAR for right now. I appreciate the question though. But baseball and I got some other interests as well. I'm just not gonna dive into it tonight. Um, I've been completely checked out from the sport. The only way I know what's going on is because what if Michael moves and my dad. Man, thanks. I appreciate to be part of that short list of yours that you of people that you tune into. That means a lot. I got into airsoft and horse riding. Um, Chicagoland too. We need to get together and make an NR 2003 offline league. If I had a PC, I don't know. I got to figure all that stuff out. And my favorite Bill Weber quote: "Harvey wins at Bristol." At Richmond, I don't see how you screw that up. Still, I'm gonna do this for 10 more minutes. It seems like it's starting to die down now in here. Thank you guys so much for coming in here. By the way, dropping the super chats. Um, probably do this for like another 10 more minutes. So probably like at 7 o'clock my time Central. That's probably when I'll go ahead and end it off. But and try to catch up on everything on Twitter. Not to mention rest my voice because I've been going off for the past hour now. Oh, let's see. Oh, when he was a pit reporter, Ricky Rudd in Victory Lane. It's Ricky Craven on the screen. Yeah, Bill Weber, he had his moments where he wasn't that good as a commentator in the booth, but as a pre-race guy and like, doing those narrations for like the pre-race segments and all that, he was top tier. So, Jimmy Johnson didn't win any races after 2017 in the points. NASCAR creates their own monsters, controversy because of playoffs, lawsuits because of charter systems that they started. Yup. And it's like they just they just they never learn. They never learn. It's a shame. Um I'm a huge 23 fan, but if no midweek penalties come out for the 1, 3, or 23, I feel like it's just another ribbon for NASCAR's inconsistency. Yeah, it's just I feel like you're going to see this again down the road. Um, which sounds crazy because you would think we haven't seen nothing to this extent since 2013 Spingate, but I just feel like the longer you got like a playoffs, especially a system like this in place, is you're going to see more of this. Teams are always going to find like loopholes. They're going to find ways to like manipulate shit um, to get certain drivers in or manufacturer in or whatever. So I just see this again. I see this happening again in the future. So unless they get rid of the playoffs, everything went to crap when they took Dylan out of the playoffs. They should just let things stand. Bell didn't wall ride, and no penalty should have been given. That's my opinion of it as well. Like I don't think Bell like he didn't roll the wall. Like he didn't do a Chastain. Like he rolled it coming off of four, but he didn't roll the entire turn. So yeah. Um oh shit. Damn, my phone is on 5%. Hold on just a sec. My phone is about to die. Cause I'm reading this stuff off of my phone. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Um Hank Parker Jr. This has been one of the best seasons I've seen. I don't understand the hate. It might just because I'm a Reddick fan. Um, I mean, to each his own. I mean, I'm a Larson fan. He got 6 wins this year, and I still think this season was not that great. I don't let my, and I'm not saying you doing this, but I don't let my fandom of a driver gets in the way of stuff most of the time. Um, if it's some bullshit going on, I'm gonna call it out, even if my driver's involved in it. Somebody on Twitter a couple weeks ago was trying to make it seem like I was one of those type of fans, and I was like, "No, dude, you got the wrong idea. You assuming wrong. I am not one of those type of fans." So I just can't, going back to this season, evaluating the season. Like I don't know, man. Like a lot of crazy moments, the close finishes and all that, but it's just been a lot of lows. So, uh, you about to have a field day pronouncing 95% of the manufacturers in my NR 2003 GT series. And I see you listed some of them, and I recognize those manufacturers too, or at least one of them. But I'm not about to pronounce them though, because I'm not trying to make myself look foolish anymore on this stream, trying to pronounce certain things, so certain words. I hope Baloney Burger goes live later. Lots to talk about. He's actually out there in Martinsville. Maybe if he can get some Wi-Fi or something like that, he can probably go live. But um, I don't know if he back at the house yet or what, or if he still got a long way to go. But um, he'll probably go live tomorrow. Um, I'm looking forward to hearing his thoughts. I'm looking forward to hearing everybody's thoughts, man. I got so much to catch up on while I'm at work throughout this week, so it's gonna be a lot to check out. He likes his burgers with a side of Mario. Hey, come on, man. Apparently NASCAR was only looking at Bell riding the wall and not the actions of Bubba, Ross, and Austin. Sawyer said they would look at that later. Wow. So you telling me that they wasn't even looking at that shit? I'm gonna go on Twitter after this because I'm gonna end this like in another 5 minutes. If they was really looking at that, and that's why it took so long for them to like come up with a decision whether Bell wall ride or not, and they wasn't even listening to the radios of the 1, 3, and 23. I don't know, man. That better not be the case. I haven't been on Twitter yet since I went live, so I got a lot to catch up on. Sawyer will make the worst decision possible. I'm finally caught up. Yeah, but they better not be doing that. They better not. If that was like the reason why it took them so long to make a decision of like who makes the playoffs because of Bell riding the wall or not, and not because of the radio transmission between the Chevrolet drivers and the Toyota drivers, basically the 1, 3, and the 23, then that is so dumb not to look at that or not to like dive into that because that's race manipulation. I was trying to enjoy my Sunday because my Niners on a bye week, and now NASCAR has ruined my Sunday. I'm sorry that had to happen. Charlotte FC would be better to watch than NASCAR for North Carolinians. Man, I don't know what else to say. Um, Good race to sum it all up before I end up going on before I leave out. Um, it was a good race until the bullshit started happening. Fuck the playoffs. Um, you know, I'm not looking forward to the finale next week. I'm actually looking forward to the off season for the second year in a row because of just how bad the season has been. Um, and just hope that they get stuff adjusted. That's all we can hope for. Something has to change. The business model has to change. You got talented drivers that's not getting opportunities. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna head on Twitter real quick and see what's going on, and check out that YouTube short that I put out today. Um, I thought that was pretty interesting um, about what I talked about. I'm not gonna try to spoil it for you guys if you haven't checked it out. Still got the next generation NASCAR commentators video in the works. Hopefully to have that out next weekend. Hopefully, but I'm gonna try not to put a date on it. Hopefully next weekend. So another chat just came in. They need to clarify what considered wall riding is. That's what I'm saying. They never really clarified that. They just kind of said we're banning wall riding, but you need to be more specific of like what that is. So yeah, yeah. So to end this stream off, all I gotta say is fuck the playoffs. So that's how I'm gonna end this. So hope y'all have a good one. Sorry that NASCAR disappointed us again. Um, and I I guess I hope Tyler Reddick comes away with the championship since been um he's been the best of the Final Four bunch. I don't know. Uh, how do you feel about Austin Dillon's good run today despite the cheating BS? I don't have any thoughts. I mean, he had a good. I mean, he had a winning car at Richmond, and he. It's like Austin Dillon would have. It's hard to give him credit because he always does something like the Richmond deal. Like he ran the best race of his career, and then he does what he did to Logano, and then tonight, yeah, he was running in the top 10, but he, the Chevy team orders, and that's not necessarily on him. It's not like he made that decision. I know he's behind the wheel, but that's Chevy putting pressure on him to say like you better not pass the 24. Thank you, Elite. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank y'all. Bell had a position on Bubba before the wall ride. Exactly. I don't understand why he drove it in like that. He had the position. Bubba was backing off on purpose to give the 20 the spot. So I'm just going around the circle at this point. So I'm gonna check Twitter. Um, I'll have a poll out tomorrow of the race. I'll have a couple of other polls out throughout the week as well, because it's a lot going on right now. So hopefully y'all have a good one. I'm gonna go ahead and roll up out of here. Y'all have a good one. Peace.